I'm here with Tim from Blackmagicdesign here at IBC. Tim, what's new at the show?
Oh, there's a ton of stuff, Dan. I think one of the most important announcements that we've made this year at IBC are some changes to the Ursa Mini products, and I think that's probably
Which isn't even out yet, in fairness.
Not quite, almost.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, the Ursa Mini, when we announced it at NAB, we saw that a lot of our customers were using things like the cinema camera, the production 4K camera, and our vision with those was really for it to be kind of a small, handheld, lightweight but creative use camera. But actually what happened was everybody rigged them up and they turned it into really a crew-orientated camera, and that wasn't really what we thought in our heads when we designed it as a product. However, that obviously was something that people wanted. So the Ursa Mini concept was born. And at NAB we got a lot of feedback about Ursa Mini, both as a creative camera, a cinema camera, but also as a potential broadcast camera, because there's a large number of B4 type lenses that are out there. They're relatively low cost, they're super for what they do, and I think there's a need to have some of the features of what Ursa Mini does, but actually within an ENG environment or studio.
Don't keep me in suspense. What is that then? What's this?
Right, so some of the changes that we've made. First thing is that we have a new B4 adapter for the Ursa PL. So this adapter, which has been announced at the show, shipping in November, allows you to remove the PL adapter, or the PL mount, off the front of a PL camera, and screw on a B4 adapter. Now that B4 lens mount allows you to interchange them between B4 and PL, so that gives you a bit more versatility.
I think we have one here. Can we look at it?
Yep.
Step on it.
So this is it here. And as you can see, it's a simple screw-on job of removing the PL mount, 6 screws, and screw on the B4 mounts. So first thing is you've got the mechanical mount. Second thing is when you're working with a B4 lens that was designed for 2/3 sensor, you need to make some changes to the way the image is adjusted within camera, both in terms of image size, but also in terms of recording that image onto a flat Bayer-based sensor.
As opposed to a 3 CCD
sensor. As opposed to an RGB sensor, yeah. So you have to make some changes to where that signal or where the light is managed internally in the camera. So this B4 adapter has an optical element to it, and that does two things. First thing it does is a 1.1 times magnification to the image. So you get a very slight magnification. But what that means is that we can then record that as HD onto the 4K sensor that's already in here. Second thing it does is it removes the chromatic aberration, the spherical aberration that you get when you're working on a flat plane sensor with a B4 lens.
Yes, so because people in the past have just put their B4 lenses straight on, say, a Panasonic GH4, and wondered why they were all slightly soft.
All looks really soft, you get that chromatic aberration around the edges. It's always a problem when you shoot them wide open, and it always looks, you get that really kind of horrible looking picture. So to handle that, to manage that, you need to go through an optical process to really bring that picture back into line, and that's what the lens inside
does. It's a single piece of glass? Or?
Actually, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know.
Okay. How much will this thing be?
The B4 mount, including the optic, will be about $300.
Okay, that's a lot cheaper than the alternatives out there.
Yeah, it's a very cost-efficient upgrade. Ultimately, we're not a modular component manufacturer or a camera manufacturer, and we want people to know that when you invest in something like an Ursa Mini as a platform, that you have the ability then to go out and do multiple things with that camera. Now, the physical lens mount is only one component of what we've done to try and increase the versatility of Ursa. In addition to the lens mount, we've added 12-pin lens control to the front.
Right, so you can plug in your ENG lens.
So you can plug in your ENG
lens. There's one here, we can spin it around actually. Yeah, okay, so there's one there.
And that will then give you also power to your lens, that also gives you control of your lens. The lens will also control the camera, so you have two-way control through the power adapter. But we've also added on the back of the camera for studio use an SDI input. So we now have both my gen lock and time code in, but also an SDI input for return program feed. So if I wanted to use that in a studio environment now, I could do using studio camera or using studio lenses, B4 lenses, and use it like I would do with a normal studio camera. The difference is that image quality wise, I still get all the benefits of Ursa. So I still have that really high dynamic range, I still have that really beautiful picture quality that I get, and also I'll shoot high frame rates, so I can shoot up to 80 frames a second.
There aren't many broadcast cameras that would have the same dynamic range. No broadcast cameras.
They'll all be shooting most 4208-bit. This is going to be giving me 422, it's going to be giving me 10-bit image, it's going to be giving me 13 stops of dynamic range at 80 frames per second.
And because you've got all the control, you can use it in the studio or in the field if you want.
You could be shooting studio one day, or you could be doing run and gun with an ENG lens one day, and the next day you might be out shooting drama or documentary or TVC. I go, actually, what I need today is my PL lenses, so I can take this adapter off, put my PL adapter back on, I can go and do something completely different the next day.
But just to be clear, I mean, obviously the look of it will be the same as if you had shot it on a 2/3 camera. It's not going to give you that Super 35 shallow depth of field that you...
No, I mean, the lens dictates a huge amount as to what the final image is going to look like. I think the important thing is, when you're recording that image, if you are just going to take it straight back out again as if it was live, then the lens is going to dictate the final look of the image. However, if you then want to take that into post-production for any reason, you want to take it into an edit suite, you then get all the advantages of saying, I've now got that high dynamic range, I can give it a nice look, I can record it ProRes, I can record it RAW, which you can't do on a typical ENG camera.
Any ENG camera.
So you've got that versatility. And the nice thing in a studio is, I can shoot live through the studio, I can take my SDI feed back out to a production switcher, but I can also do an ISO record in the camera. And again, very unique functionality and feature.
I guess the only thing that we're missing from this, this compared to a conventional camera, is there are no built-in ND filters on this camera. Is that
Not yet.
Not yet? What does that mean?
Not yet. It's been a popular request, so it's something we're thinking about.
So at the moment, you'd have to find some way to put a big ND filter on the front of your broadcast lens, or just accept that you're going to shoot.
Or it depends on the lens. Some you can drop them in the rear, some you put them on the front.
And that recording, it's HD, it's not 4K for that crop.
So for B4 lenses, it will be HD, because you off the back of that lens, it's going to be giving you a 2/3 size image. So we can map that onto the sensor for pixel HD resolution, but it's not going to give you any more than that. And the other problem you have is the optics in those lenses are not capable of resolving the resolution that you need at 4K. So as soon as you step up to 4K, then you need to move out of that B4 lens mount and then go to PL or go to EF.
Okay. But for slow-mo and things like that, it could be really good as well.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, you get all the high frame rates at HD resolution with a B4 lens.
Okay, great. Shipping updates. People keep asking when are they going to get the minis they've pre-ordered. Where are we at?
So Ursa Mini is in production now. The 4K units will be available to most people who've already got back orders within the next 2 weeks.
Where's ours?
That's a good question.
I'll stop it. Come on.
So, on behalf of Blackmagicdesign, we'd like to give you guys to test. Well, for you guys to go out and use this Ursa Mini, because we read your reviews as much as I'm sure everybody else does, and your feedback has been crucial to us thinking about what we do with future developments of the camera. But it's quite hard when you come to a trade show just to go, it's good or it's bad. We'd like you to go out and use it. We'd like to go out and test it, give us your feedback.
Well, we're going to use it. We're going to use it for the rest of the show, so we'll let you know how you go. We'll give you honest feedback on that one.
Please do, please do.
But for everybody else, who really wants to get their hands on it, pretty soon. I think.
Yeah, the 4K version we're talking about 2 weeks when we can get volumes of shipments through.
4.6.
The 4.6K sensor is in development now. It's taken us a bit longer than we anticipated, and because it's a custom designed sensor by Blackmagic, we've invested over $10 million in this new sensor concept, and during that process we wanted to make sure it does everything we want it to do. It's not quite there yet. We expect the 4.6K to be shipping at some point during Q4, hopefully sooner rather than later. But it's coming, it's just not quite here yet. I reckon we're probably about 2 months away.
And do you know yet how much of a dynamic range loss you're going to get when you switch to global shutter with it? Have you figured all that sort of stuff out?
Yeah, it's across all of the cameras, when you switch between rolling and global, you're going to get some loss in dynamic range. The average is about 2 to 2.5 stops. So my expectation on the 4.6K would be very similar, where you're looking about 2.5 stops.
Okay, and then one last question about shipping, or two I'll give you. The video assist, when are we getting that?
Video assist is, I believe it's about 2 weeks.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
And the micro cameras, the 4/3 cameras.
Yeah.
Still haven't seen them when.
No. They're also. I mean, we're working really hard on trying to get everything out the door. We've got so many different things that we're trying to get launched around about the same time.
Any firm dates?
Yeah. So the studio version of that camera, so that's a 4K camera.
No internal recording, just.
No
4K.
internal recording, 4K output. That's shipping at the end of. Where are we now? We're Friday now, aren't we? Is it Friday?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think
so that's shipping at the end of next week.
Okay.
Not this week, end of next week. And the cinema camera is going to be shipping early October.
Okay, Tim, thank you very much.
Not at all, always a pleasure.